The BBC at its best when it does its investigative journalism. The BBC has a very interesting relationship, to put it mildly, with the Indian government. The BBC does have a large presence in India, but it's fallen foul of Modi and the BJP in recent years. For example, it did another documentary that was very critical of Narendra Modi. It did basically hold Narendra Modi up to the spotlight. Now, fortunately, the BBC is quite a powerful body. Ultimately, it is still only allowed to get involved in India under the Indian government's consent. So it treads a very, very fine line. But certainly when it crossed that line as far as Modi was concerned, and it did a documentary critical of the Modi regime, it found that documentary immediately banned, and the BBC was in trouble. So, yeah, once again, they come up with a fascinating investigative piece of journalism. And well, one wonders how the BJP government are feeling when they see this one, because of course the spotlight does of course immediately turn on the Modi government. Why is the Modi government not doing anything about this? These are Indian pharmaceutical giants that are selling their drugs illegally into other nations and causing massive social problems in these other countries. Here, of course, we're talking West Africa, whether it's Ghana or Nigeria, etc. But of course, reference the drug companies now in trouble in the United States that have been caught doing effectively the same sort of thing. They're feeding the opioid crisis in the United States by supplying these precursor drugs to fentanyl, I think the same family of drugs. So these pharmaceutical companies in India are running riot. They are, as I said in the introduction, making millions, if not tens of millions, of dollars through illegal activity. But why is the Modi government doing nothing about it, or very little about it? Well, there's a clue there, James, I think, in your article. These companies are generating over $28 billion of revenue each year. That is an enormous amount. And a country like India, that has such deep poverty, and of course a lot of India does not generate tax. It doesn't generate a tax income because these people are not earning enough money to generate tax, a large part of the population. So the Indian government needs to raise taxes from wherever it can get it. And when it can get a large slice of this $28 billion revenue coming from overseas, that's valuable money coming from overseas, of course, why would it want to close that down? Why would it want to restrict that massive flow of effectively laundered tax money coming from these pharmaceutical companies? So as far as I'm concerned, the Modi government are very slow, and deliberately slow and reluctant, I would say, to even do anything about this until it absolutely has to, because it's making too much money through the tax revenues.